The hidden truth. Seniors need to know. If you're over 60, there's one small habit that could quietly be raising your risk of a stroke. No pain, no warning, just one moment. You're feeling fine. And the next, everything changes. Hello, friends. I'm William Johnson, and I've always believed that every day after 60 is a gift of time, of wisdom, of life. And like many of you, I've tried to take care of that gift, eating a little better, stretching in the morning, and yes, taking my daily vitamins. For years, I had a simple bedtime routine. I'd drink a glass of water and take 3 pills. A multivitamin, a memory support capsule, and a high-dose vitamin D soft gel. I honestly believed I was helping my brain, protecting my bones, and giving my body a little edge before sleep. But then something happened that made me pause. One evening, a friend of mine, a neurologist, called me after a long day at his clinic. His voice was serious. "William," he said, "I just saw a 68-year-old man who woke up this morning and couldn't move his right arm, couldn't speak clearly. It wasn't a stroke caused by smoking or a poor diet. He had no major risk factors. The only thing unusual, he had been taking 10,000 IU of vitamin D every night before bed for months." That story hit me hard. I walked over to my kitchen cabinet, pulled out my vitamin bottle, and read the label. 10,000 IU, and just like that, my mind started racing. Not because taking vitamins is wrong, but because I'd never questioned it. Have you ever stopped to ask, could my vitamins be doing more harm than good? Let's be honest, many of us grew up in a time where taking a daily vitamin was just good common sense. We saw commercials that promised stronger bones, sharper memory, better energy. We read articles that said supplements could help us stay young, stay strong. So we trusted the labels. We trusted the brands. We trusted the idea that more vitamins equals better health. But the truth is, your body changes after 60. The way your brain, heart, liver, and kidneys process supplements is not the same as when you were 30 or 40. And in some cases, the very thing you thought was protecting you, like vitamin D, E, or B6, might be quietly putting your brain at risk. So in today's episode, I want to walk you through 5 common vitamins that may increase your risk of stroke, nerve damage, or brain bleeds if you're over 60, especially when taken at the wrong time or in the wrong amounts. Some of these stories might sound familiar. Some might surprise you. And all of them are shared with one goal: to protect your brain, your independence, and your peace of mind. Now, before we dive in, let me ask you, type 1 in the comments if you've ever wondered whether your vitamins are truly safe. Type 0 if this is all new to you. And please hit the like button if brain health matters to you or someone you love. It helps more people find this video. Let's start with the most surprising one of all. Vitamin D, the one we all thought was harmless, but in the wrong dose, at the wrong time, it can quietly become a danger. Vitamin D, a bone saver or a silent risk. It's just vitamin D. I used to say it helps with bones, right? But I didn't realize it could also raise my blood pressure, stiffen my arteries, and quietly lead me toward a stroke while I slept. Let me tell you a story that really stayed with me. His name was Mr. Walter Green, a 74-year-old retired Navy veteran, sharp as a tack, disciplined, and took his health seriously. Every morning, just like clockwork, he would line up his supplements on the kitchen counter: vitamin D, a multivitamin, omega-3, and a calcium tablet. He believed, like many of us do, that he was doing everything right. But one morning, his wife found him sitting on the edge of the bed, confused, unable to speak, his right arm limp. He had suffered a stroke during the night. No warning signs, no headache, no chest pain, just silence, and then everything changed. His lab results were shocking. High blood calcium, stiff arteries, blood pressure swinging up and down. The doctors found no obvious cause, no smoking history, no diabetes, no clogged arteries, but there was one red flag. He had been taking 10,000 IU of vitamin D every day without medical guidance, and always before bed. What went wrong? Vitamin D is essential. It helps your body absorb calcium, keeps your bones strong, and supports your immune system. But too much vitamin D, especially when taken at night, can silently tip the scales. Here's how it happens. When you take high doses of vitamin D, your body absorbs more calcium than it needs. That calcium doesn't just go to your bones. It ends up circulating in your bloodstream. Your arteries, which should be flexible and elastic, start to harden with calcium deposits. Over time, this reduces blood flow, increases blood pressure, and raises the risk of a clot or stroke. And here's the scary part. You might not feel anything at all. You go to sleep feeling fine. You wake up unable to speak or move your arm. And sometimes you don't wake up at all. What's a safe dose for seniors? Most older adults need no more than 1,000 to 2,000 IU per day. And that's only if your blood tests show a deficiency. But many over-the-counter supplements contain 5,000, even 10,000 IU per capsule. That's 5 to 10 times more than most seniors actually need. And unless your doctor is checking your blood calcium and vitamin D levels every few months, you may not realize that your body is slowly getting overloaded. William's real-world advice. I want to be honest, I used to take 10,000 IU of vitamin D every night, just like Mr. Walter. Why? Because I thought more is better. Now, here's what I do instead. I take my vitamin D in the morning, never at night. I keep the dose under 2,000 IU unless my doctor tells me otherwise. I get my blood checked every 6 months, especially calcium and kidney function. And I make sure to stay hydrated, because dehydration can make vitamin D side effects even worse. Let's talk about you. Are you currently taking vitamin D? Do you know how many IUs your capsule contains? Type D in the comments if you're taking it right now. Let's open up the conversation, because someone else might learn something valuable from your experience. And if this section made you think twice, go ahead and give it a like to help others find this information too. You might be saving someone's life. Coming up next, there's a vitamin many seniors take to support the heart. But when combined with blood thinners, it can quietly lead to a brain bleed. And yes, it's probably sitting in your medicine cabinet right now. Let's talk about vitamin E. Vitamin E, the heart helper that could backfire. It's just vitamin E. It's natural. It supports the heart, circulation, even memory. What could go wrong? But for one woman I met, it was the reason she ended up in the emergency room with a brain bleed. Her name was Mrs. Evelyn Brooks, an 81-year-old retired librarian from Ohio. She was sharp, witty, and always had a book in hand. She had been managing a heart valve condition for years, and her doctors had her on warfarin, a common blood thinner. Everything was stable. Her blood pressure was well controlled. Her labs looked good. But Evelyn wanted to be proactive. One afternoon, while flipping through a senior health magazine, she saw an ad for a natural memory support vitamin that promised better brain health and improved circulation. The star ingredient, vitamin E 800 IU per capsule. She started taking it every day, thinking she was doing something good for herself. 3 weeks later, she was rushed to the hospital. Terrible headache, dizziness, vomiting, sudden confusion. The CT scan showed something terrifying, a hemorrhagic stroke bleeding inside the brain. But not because of high blood pressure, not because of a fall. The cause was much quieter. The combination of warfarin and high-dose vitamin E had made her blood too thin. Just one fragile vessel in her brain gave out. What most seniors don't know about vitamin E. Vitamin E is often marketed as a natural antioxidant, and in small doses, it can support cell health and protect against inflammation. But in high doses, vitamin E acts like a natural anticoagulant, a blood thinner. That's dangerous if you're already taking aspirin, Plavix, or any prescribed blood thinner. You're prone to bruising or have had minor bleeding episodes. You don't regularly monitor your blood clotting levels like INR, How much is too much? The recommended daily intake for older adults is only about 15 milligrams, which is around 22 IU. But most supplements on store shelves, they offer 200, 400, or even 1,000 IU per capsule, 10 to 50 times more than what your body actually needs. And here's the worst part. There's no warning on the label. No doctor required, just a smiling promise of heart health and memory support. William's reflection. When I first heard Evelyn's story, it shook me. She told me through tears, I just wanted to help myself. I didn't know I was doing harm. And honestly, I've been there too. There was a time I saw a senior focus supplement that looked great, vitamin E, ginkgo B vitamins, the works. But one look at the label showed me the vitamin E alone was 600 IU. Now, here's what I do differently. I get most of my vitamin E from food: almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach. I avoid high-dose vitamin E supplements, especially if I'm taking anything that affects blood flow. I ask my doctor first before adding any new supplement, because even natural doesn't always mean safe. Your turn to share. Are you currently taking vitamin E? Type E in the comments if you are, or if you've ever taken it with a heart medication. You never know who else might benefit from your experience. And if Evelyn's story moved you the way it moved me, please like this video and share it with someone you care about. It might be the thing that helps them avoid the same risk. Coming up next, we're going to talk about vitamin B6, the one that's often sold as a nerve booster. But in high doses, it can do the exact opposite. It can slowly damage your nerves, affect your balance, and even your memory. Let me tell you about Mr. Harold Jenkins and how one bottle almost changed everything. Vitamin B6, nerve support or nerve damage. Support your brain, strengthen your nerves, boost your energy. That's what the label said. But no one warned Mr. Harold Jenkins that what he was taking every day might slowly take away his ability to walk. Let me tell you about Harold. Mr. Harold Jenkins was 76, a retired truck driver from Kansas, a big-hearted man who spent most of his life on the road, and now just wanted to enjoy retirement with his grandkids, work on old motorcycles, and stay independent as long as he could. But one day, Harold noticed something strange. His feet felt numb. Then came the tingling in his hands. Then he started losing his balance once. Then again. The third time he fell, he hit his head in the bathroom and ended up in the ER. Doctors ruled out stroke. His heart was fine. Blood sugar normal, but something still wasn't right. So he came to see a neurologist, and when they went through his medications and supplements, there it was. A bottle labeled Nerve Support Complex. It promised to boost memory, energy, and focus. It had pretty packaging and glowing reviews online. But buried in the ingredients list was vitamin B6, 100 milligrams per tablet. And Harold was taking 2 tablets per day. That's 200 milligrams daily. Over 10 times the safe upper limit for seniors. What most seniors don't know about B6. Vitamin B6, or pyridoxine, is important for brain and nerve health. But unlike some other B vitamins, B6 can build up in your body over time. Too much B6 can damage the protective lining around your nerves, just like stripping the insulation off a wire. This can lead to tingling, numbness, weakness in the legs or hands, loss of balance, even confusion or memory problems. And the worst part, it often happens slowly, over months or years. So most people think it's just old age or arthritis. But in reality, their own supplement might be the hidden cause. How much B6 do you actually need? Most seniors only need about 2 to 10 milligrams per day, and that includes what you get from food like bananas, chickpeas, poultry, and fortified cereals. But many nerve support or brain boost pills sold online contain 50, 100, even 200 milligrams of B6 per capsule. No warning, no pharmacist, just a fancy label and a promise to support cognition. William's take. I'll be honest, there was a time I almost ordered one of those senior focus bottles online. It sounded perfect. All natural, brain-friendly, safe. But I've learned to check the labels. That's one habit that saved me more than once. Here's what I do now. I check how much B6 is in anything labeled brain, nerve, or energy. I avoid any capsule with over 10 milligrams of B6 unless prescribed by a doctor. I get most of my B6 from food like salmon, eggs, and potatoes. And if I start to feel any numbness or tingling, I don't wait. I talk to my doctor. What about you? Have you ever taken a supplement for brain or nerve health? Type B6 in the comments if you have, or if you're checking your label now. And if you know someone who's been struggling with numbness or balance problems, please share this video with them. You could be helping them uncover something that doctors haven't even checked for yet. Now, if you thought vitamins for the brain were risky, wait until you hear what happens when a vitamin meant for your eyes and skin starts building up pressure inside your skull. Next, I'll tell you the story of Miss Dorothy Simmons and how vitamin A nearly stole her vision and her balance. Vitamin A and niacin, the dangerous duo most seniors overlook. It's just for my eyes. That's what Miss Dorothy thought. But too much vitamin A almost took her vision, her balance, and her ability to live on her own. Let me introduce you to someone I'll never forget. Miss Dorothy Simmons was 79, a retired piano teacher from Oregon. Graceful, elegant, and sharp as ever, she spent her mornings teaching students from her living room, and her evenings playing Chopin with a cup of chamomile tea. She also believed in staying healthy the natural way. So for the past 5 years, she'd been taking a high-dose skin and eye supplement. The label boasted radiant skin, sharper vision, and immune support. And each capsule contained 10,000 IU of vitamin A. But Dorothy didn't think twice. It was just a vitamin. Then the symptoms started. Headaches, blurred vision, dizziness, slurred speech. Her family feared the worst, a stroke. But her scans showed no bleeding, no clot. What they found instead was increased pressure inside her skull, a condition known as pseudotumor cerebri, or false brain tumor, often caused by excess vitamin A. Why vitamin A can turn against you. Vitamin A is fat-soluble, which means it's stored in your liver and tissues. It doesn't flush out of your system like vitamin C or most B vitamins. And as we age, our liver slows down, making it harder to process and eliminate excess amounts. When too much vitamin A builds up, it can cause pressure on the brain, blurred or double vision, headaches and nausea, cognitive issues, even permanent vision loss. And the most dangerous part, many seniors stack vitamin A without realizing it, taking a multivitamin, plus an eye supplement, plus a skin or immune booster, all containing thousands of IU. The safe upper limit for older adults is about 2,500 to 3,000 IU per day, only if needed, and only under supervision. But Dorothy was unknowingly taking over 10,000 IU every single day for years. William's wellness tip. When I heard her story, I thought of how many times I'd seen the same kind of supplements at the store. Pretty labels, bold promises, tiny fine print. I used to think, if it's good for the eyes, why not double up? Now I know better. Here's what I recommend. Get your vitamin A from real food like carrots, sweet potatoes, spinach, and cantaloupe. Read your multivitamin label. You might already be getting more than enough. Avoid combining multiple supplements with vitamin A unless advised by your doctor. Track your symptoms if you ever notice headaches, dizziness, or blurry vision. Don't brush it off. Dorothy is now in recovery. She's playing piano again, but she told me, with tears in her eyes, I thought I was helping myself. I never imagined a vitamin could hurt my brain. But there's one more, one that affects millions without warning. Let's talk about niacin, also known as vitamin B3. It's often promoted for heart health and cholesterol. You'll find it in heart formulas, energy drinks, even breakfast cereals. Let me tell you about Mr. Frank Miller. He's 82, a retired postman from Florida. Frank started taking a supplement that claimed to support healthy cholesterol. The front said, "Natural heart support promotes circulation and energy." But the back, it listed 1,000 milligrams of niacin per serving, and he was taking 2 servings per day. That's 2,000 milligrams daily, over 60 times what most older adults actually need. Soon, Frank started experiencing sudden facial flushing, chest pounding, morning dizziness, lightheadedness that came and went. At first, his wife thought it was anxiety. His son blamed his blood pressure meds. But the real cause, extreme niacin intake. High doses of niacin dilate your blood vessels, causing that warm flush. Then, they snap back, narrowing again quickly, creating blood pressure swings and stressing your heart. Eventually, Frank experienced what's called a transient ischemic attack, a mini-stroke. His speech slurred for 2 minutes, then returned. He thought it was a fluke, but I had to tell him the truth. Your supplement isn't helping your heart. It's gambling with your brain. How much niacin is safe? For older adults, anything above 50 milligrams per day should only be used under medical supervision. And that includes flush-free niacin, still risky. Extended-release niacin can affect the liver. Any supplement labeled for cholesterol or circulation. William's bottom line. Now, when I see niacin on a label, I pause. Here's what I do and what I recommend. Scan every label. Heart health formulas often sneak in high-dose niacin. Skip anything with more than 50 milligrams per serving. Talk to your doctor, especially if you're taking blood pressure or heart rhythm meds. Get your heart support nutrients from foods like oats, leafy greens, flax seeds, and salmon. Frank is doing better now. He told me, "Doc, I thought I was doing everything right. I didn't know I was gambling with my brain." Your voice matters. Are you or someone you love taking a cholesterol supplement with niacin? Type niacin in the comments if this story made you stop and check. If you're still watching and learning something new, please hit the like button and subscribe so we can keep this Lifewell Seniors community strong and informed. And stay with me, because in our final section, I'll show you what to do instead. Not just what to stop, but what to start. Real food, simple habits, and one breakfast that could help protect your brain naturally. What to do instead. A morning routine to protect your brain. If all these vitamins are risky, what's left? What should I do now? That's the question I hear most from seniors after they learn the truth. And the answer is simpler than you think. Let me introduce you to Mrs. Margaret Wilson. She's 73, a retired school principal from Arizona, organized, disciplined, kind. When I first met her, she opened a drawer in her kitchen and showed me a collection of over 12 supplement bottles. Vitamin D for her bones, vitamin E for her heart, a B complex for her nerves, niacin for cholesterol, a multivitamin, and 3 different memory pills. She looked at me and said, "William, I'm doing everything right." Aren't I? But here's the thing. Margaret still felt dizzy in the mornings. Her balance was off. She'd forgotten where she left her keys 3 times that week. And her blood pressure, it kept rising. Despite her efforts, something wasn't adding up. So we did something radical. We cleared the clutter. We removed every pill, not forever, but for a moment. And we replaced them with something better. Food. Real. Nourishing. Natural food. No powders. No pills. No magic. Just meals designed for the brain. Here's what Margaret's new morning looked like. 1 boiled egg for clean protein and choline, a brain essential nutrient. Half an avocado, full of healthy fats to protect nerve function. 1 slice of whole grain toast, steady energy and fiber for circulation. A handful of blueberries, loaded with polyphenols to reduce brain inflammation. A glass of room temperature water to rehydrate after sleep. Sometimes a few walnuts or almonds for vitamin E in its natural form. That's it. Simple, clean, balanced. Within 3 weeks, Margaret noticed less dizziness, steadier balance, fewer senior moments, clearer focus in the mornings. And the best part, "William," she told me, I feel like myself again? The brain loves simplicity and rhythm. Your brain doesn't need mega doses. It needs hydration, natural fats, slow energy, and micronutrients in the form your body recognizes. What it doesn't need: mystery capsules from the internet, stacked supplements with overlapping ingredients, labels with tiny print and empty promises. William's step-by-step Brain Smart morning routine for viewers over 60. Here's what I recommend for every senior watching this video. Start your day slowly. Sit up in bed. Breathe deeply. Stretch gently. Drink 1 glass of room temperature water. Hydrate your brain. Eat a brain-boosting breakfast. Use Margaret's plate as a guide. Move your body. Even 5 minutes of walking gets blood flowing. Write down what you're taking. Review your supplements with your doctor. Stop adding new vitamins without checking your current ones. Notice how you feel. Your body will tell you when something's off. And always remember, more isn't always better, but aware is always safer. Let's wrap this up together. You've made it through 5 hidden risks, 5 real-life stories, and 1 powerful truth. Awareness is your best medicine. So tell me in the comments below, what's 1 change you'll make starting tomorrow? Are you checking your supplement label, switching to food first, or simply sharing this video with someone you care about? Your voice matters, and your story could help someone else. A final note from William. If you've watched this far, thank you. It means you care, not just about surviving, but about thriving in this next chapter of life. And you're not alone. This Lifewell Seniors community is here for you with knowledge, compassion, and encouragement. Please take a second to like this video, subscribe and turn on notifications. Share it with a friend or family member who needs it. We're in this together. Because no matter your age, it's never too late to protect your brain, strengthen your body, and feel like yourself again. Let's keep learning, keep growing, and keep living well. See you in the next video. William.